very on time.
On time, on the
I love
dot.
it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Perfect.
So, welcome. Thank you for joining today, wherever you are, whatever time you're in, wherever you are in the world. Thank you. I'm currently in Sydney, Australia. So it's dark. We've just gone out of daylight saving. So sorry, this is fake lighting, but normally I'm a naturally lit person, but we're doing what we have at the moment. So my name is Cecile Vardis. I am 27 and I was based mainly in Europe for the past 6.5 years, but I am Australian. People get confused by that. So yes, I built my business in Europe, where I was based since I was 21, which was a roller coaster, I have to say. Being there in your early 20s is daunting, but it was, I wouldn't, replace it for anything. It was really amazing. There I built my food photography business. And in part of that, I do food styling and also recipe consulting. So everything from taking photos to food, to styling food, to actually creating and cooking the recipes. Yes, I do actually cook everything you see on my Instagram. I get that question pretty much every day. People are so confused about that. But yes, all the recipes are mine, unless it states, and all of the photos are mine unless it states. So I'm very proud of that, because if you've seen some of my like earlier work, it was totally changed. So basically I am self-taught. And I've picked up a camera. I learned on the Fuji 100X, which is a small travel size one. And then I've worked my way up through to a few different Canon cameras, and now, yeah, so self-taught. And honestly, it's exciting. You're always learning, you're always evolving. You get to pick your own style and choose different things. So yeah, that's about me, and I'm so excited to be on the plate and welcome Olivia. She's from the plate with me here. So basically there, I'm excited to be more personal with you guys. So giving a lot of these live sessions, which I don't do on Instagram or anywhere else. So it's pretty intense, but exciting. So we're going to cook a few things. We'll do some styling tips. We'll do some other bits and bobs. And also, if you have anything that you actually want from me, please tell me, because I would be open to giving you guys also what you want as well. So yeah, that's kind of a bit about me. If there's any questions, also let us know, because I'm happy to answer anything. But yeah, over to you, Olivia.
Thank you for the introduction, and I'm fascinated. I honestly cannot wait for your channel in particular. And just for everybody to explain a little bit about the plate. So the plate is a platform that is, we're on a mission to empower people like Cecile, these food entrepreneurs, these chefs, these talented cooks, to inspire people like you who are hungry for tips and inside knowledge of the culinary world. And we are just fascinated by Cecile's cooking style and how she focuses on not only nourishment with these bold flavors and the colors within her cooking style, but also how we eat with our eyes. And I'm really amazed by how you can put together a dish in such a beautiful way. And I'm excited to learn more about that on your channel. So in case any of you do not yet know exactly about her channel on the plate, I'm going to send the link. So I do recommend to join her channel. Definitely check it out. There are some incredible recipes already up, and we're going to be doing nice live events, as she mentioned. So I will let you take it away. I cannot wait to hear about this soup, and I will probably get so hungry watching you do this. I'm very excited. I will let you take it away.
Cool. So today we are making green pea and spinach soup. It sounds kind of weird, to be honest. I'm very honest here, okay? It sounds healthy, but weird, right? Actually really good. And it's super simple, done in like 15 minutes. And today I'm actually using frozen peas and frozen spinach. So if you have fresh, please use it. It's the same recipe. I just use frozen because I cook it in winter, I cook it in summer, so it's just easier. It's like you can, cook it year round. Basically, you'll need spinach. Now, the recipe it was in the chat that we did. That's all of the measurements. Spinach, peas. We're doing on the top. We're doing a beautiful red onion and fried pea topping, almost like the Italian way of breadcrumbs, but we're doing it with peas and red onion. Like, who would have thought? And you get the same crispiness, and you put it on the soup, and it oh my gosh. Well, I'm
so hungry.
So we need for that red onion and then some extra peas. So clearly not what we put in the soup. And then for the soup, spinach, green peas, garlic, thyme. I did put dry thyme in the recipe, but I have fresh. It's the same. You probably just need a tiny bit more fresh thyme. It's actually not as strong when you use fresh as when you use dry. That's the only.
Okay, interesting. Also, this is a super budget-friendly meal, I'm realizing.
Totally. Yeah. You can, I would say, in Australia, it's about $10. In Europe, I would say it's like €6.
Absolutely. Perfect.
And it honestly will make a big quantity. So meal prep as well, because you can also freeze this, and then you can also eat it the next day, and cold, which is crazy, but also super helpful.
Nice.
Pepper and stock. And then we've got coconut cream, optional. If you don't want it creamy, you do not need to put this in. If you want it extra creamy and you're not vegan, you can also use normal cream without the coconut cream. I prefer actually creamy, but not with dairy. So I actually use coconut cream.
Nice.
And you don't taste the coconut. People think that there's no coconut in there. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just the texture of the creamy element in there.
Nice.
So, and no oil, funnily, because we're not frying any of these things. So
very light.
Yeah, it's good. Let's go. I'm going to start. If there's questions.
Yes, everybody, feel free to ask in the chat. So everyone's muted as of now, just because it could get a bit chaotic having everyone talk over one another. But I'm going to be screening the chat. So as soon as any questions may come in, I'm just going to, we already got a question. A bit random, but do you still take all the pictures with the Canon or with the phone as well? Good question.
All my Instagram photos are Canon photos, no photos. But my reels, I will have to say, they're phone reels. I've done the videography and it's so hard. I'm not a videographer. And then Instagram changed its stupid algorithm. So we're on to, we are using the iPhone for videos, but Canon for all my photos. That's always,
Good to know.
So spinach, peas, stock, thyme, all in at once straight away. And I'm using a cube of stock, but if you have the liquid, that's also fine. So I'm also going to put the cube in and then water.
What is the stock, vegetable, or is it a beef?
It depends. You can use, if you're vegan, then use veggie. Yeah. If you're not, I prefer chicken, just because it gives it a stronger flavor, but veggie you still get it with and make sure the stock is unsalted, because we do actually add stock if you happen to have salted stock. I would suggest you don't add the salt in and then salt it at the end, just so you control that part.
So you have this on medium heat, I can kind of see, or high heat?
We are about to put it on high, just because when you normally are frying things like medium, but because I'm adding water, I want to bring it to a boil quicker. So once I add the water, I'm just putting the stock in now.
And could you maybe use shallots instead of red onion? Have you ever experimented with that, or do you stick strictly with the red onion? Yeah.
Honestly, that actually might be nicer. It depends. A lot of people don't like red onion.
Yeah, that's why I ask. Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine. And if you prefer a stronger onion flavor, then you can also use white.
Okay.
And you can't be bothered to do the topping, which I totally get. That you can use those like the Asian fried onions on top, and that gives the crunch. You don't have to do anything with that.
Yeah,
exactly. Which I'm all for. And honestly, like you can get the healthier ones that are fried with you know, not the high fat canola oil and things like that are the healthier version. But honestly, having a bit of oil in this, because when I'm not using any oil when making the soup, it's fine to have. Yeah, totally fine. So garlic in
how many cloves of that? Was it 2 cloves or 1?
That is 2 from the recipe. Yeah.
Perfect.
I pre-chopped it because I don't feel like you guys want to see me chop.
No, it's perfect. I have a good question though. Did you chop the garlic, or did you just press it?
Well, so we will be blending it, so it doesn't actually matter. If you want to cut it in half because you can't be bothered, we'll blend it anyway. I just ran like roughly chopped.
Just chop it. Okay, perfect. Good to know.
Yeah. Because we will go and blend it, so yeah, it really doesn't matter. That's why when I do blended soups, I tend to use the frozen veggies anyway, like apart from pumpkin and things like this, but this soup and like even cauliflower soup and things like you can get away with frozen veggies.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's not focusing really on like the raw. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
super good to know.
We're just waiting for this my water was boiled, but I guess when we were talking it deboiled.
Did you already put salt in the water? No, not yet, just the bouillon.
I just put the stock in. And I will so yeah, it's actually, the reason why I use unsalted stock is because the body absorbs salt less when you put it in the cooking process than when you put it at the end. And that's why I prefer unsalted stock.
That's a very good.
Yeah, then I actually add the salt when I'm cooking, so I know how much is going in. Yeah. So if there's like a problem with, I mean, I have to tell you, I'm not a nutritionist, but I do know that I prefer adding my own salt during the cooking process because it absorbs differently rather than putting on the end. Yeah.
Okay, I think that sparked some interest. So someone said, really? Salts just while cooking or later? Could you repeat it? Okay. So maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it because maybe the salt breaks down more throughout the process?
Yeah. So when you touches the heat, it's different to eating salt. I think that's the difference. When it's being and heat applied is different than when you eat it like on the top or sprinkle it on potatoes or things like that. So when I actually apply it to heat, you absorb it different, and I think healthier. A healthier way of absorbing it than when you have it just raw.
Very good to know. Never knew that. Yeah. These are the little hacks and kitchen secrets you need to share on the plate for sure.
Especially with styling, it's funny because people don't realize, but the styling world, you have to. For me, everything you see on my Instagram you can eat, but I'll always modify it to style it. So like salt, for example, will let out more liquid. So I always undersalt things. I've already cooked them before, so I know actually how much salt to apply in a written recipe. But when I go and cook it, I always undersalt it because otherwise it lets out too much liquid. And
okay.
it's not a photogenic thing, you know. So there's lots of which I'm excited to share with you guys over this process. But and it's all, you know, for everyone listening who is curious about entering this world, I learned this all from, you know, just being here and doing it. And no one told me this. No one gave me a book of like, here's the do's and don'ts. Here's like all the tips and tricks. So I actually wish I had this platform when I was starting to learn, like to learn all this stuff, you know. It really is just going through and like realizing that, wow, like if I add this much salt when I'm doing photos of it, I only have very short period of time before it's like change texture or all this sort of stuff. So, and people do in styling use like things like glue or
food dye, food coloring.
Yeah, so I don't do that. Everything you see, like this,
very good to know.
Soup is the exact color that you saw on like Instagram or the photo here.
No green.
It's green. It's electric green. There's no changing color. But yeah, so these are the things that we'll share along the journey.
Oh, I can't wait. We have another question in the chat. What's your favorite kind of food? Ooh la la.
Or to cook, to eat. I'm a Japanese food obsessed. Like everything.
Awesome.
I think it's because I just can't be bothered to make sushi, which sounds horrible.
But it's fun. Sushi is beyond fun to make.
It is, but it's like a day in the making, and it's like, and I just like sometimes I don't, and it's Japanese food is all about the sauces and like having 10 different sauces. I just sometimes can't be bothered. So like I just go to Japanese every time I'm out. It's so bad. My parents are like, don't you try anything else? I'm like, but I cook everything else. I want to just eat Japanese.
That's a perfect approach actually, because if you're going out to eat, the best thing is to order something you can't make. That's my number one rule. If I can make an arrabbiata pasta, why am I going to then spend 16 euros for this pasta? I can make it at home, maybe even better. No, just kidding. But that's a very good general rule.
Even better.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, when this is coming to a boil, I'm going to start the fried peas and red onion. So I'm going to put just a small pan. Sorry, you guys can't see it. The red onion.
I see. Teflon.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to use oil, go for it. And, like just a teaspoon. It doesn't have to be much. Yeah. And these I've done in like finely. So these get extra crispy. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Thinly, you can use a julienne like the as well if you want to save time. Don't be obsessive over it. If there's a tiny bit bigger, you know,
absolutely,
it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. This I will put on I've got it on a smaller burner, but I will put on a higher heat.
Okay.
Just so we can crisp up the. This soup is now boiling. I have not blended it yet. If you can now. Sounds good. Sorry, guys. I wish you can see.
This is torture.
So I'm going to add a teaspoon of, you can use black pepper powder, which is fine, but this is actually done with the actual pepper, whatever it's called. That one, thank you. I am going to add this is not a teaspoon, this is a salt serving teaspoon. So it's about like half a teaspoon, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. It's easier to undersalt it now. I just wanted to add a little bit because I've used unsalted stock, and then we'll add a bit more once I taste it.
Perfect.
Then I will turn off the heat. I'm going to add the coconut cream. You can also use coconut milk. That will add more milk. That will add more water though. So the cream is
a little thicker.
The coconut milk is the water part of it. So don't use as much stock. This is you have to just balance it out. So if you use 400 milliliters of the coconut cream, then take out about half a cup of the stock just to, if you use half a cup of the coconut milk, take out half a cup of stock just to balance out the sorry, that was confusing.
Oh, good.
So I've put that in with the heat off. We don't need any heat. I'm now going to come over here and blend it. It's that simple. I wish I was telling you a more complicated to show off. Really not. So mind me, I'm just going to blend.
So I wonder, I see this is an immersion blender that you have right now. I wonder if you would be able to put this into a general blender, which you make smoothies with. Is there any difference?
Sorry.
Is there any difference between using an immersion blender and a general smoothie blender? No.
Apart from the extra washing up when you put it in a food processor, which I also don't like. So it depends. Some people don't have a very high powered hand blender, so then yes, you will need to put it in the actual food processor. But if you have a high powered one, absolutely no difference. One, I can just do it in the pot and then put it back on the stove, and I don't have to move and do any more washing up. And also, if it ends up being that you've slightly out-ratioed the peas and spinach to the water part, and it's too watery, just add some more peas or add some. That will actually naturally thicken it up.
Perfect.
Easy. If you've out, this is home cooking. You just put a bit more in. Like that's not a big deal at all. And it depends. Some people like still the textured element in their soups, and that's fine. Like then stop. Do it how you want. Just because I like it pureed, and sometimes I actually don't. Sometimes I prefer it. Just do it how you want. Like there's no right or wrong way at the end of the day. Just as long as the flavors are there and the the elements are there that you like, then leave it at what. Just because I've blended it one way doesn't mean that you
the beauty of home cooking.
Yeah, it can fit to you. You don't have to take it from someone else and like that's what you're going to do. Sorry, I'm almost done.
No worries. I'm going to send everyone the link of your channel in the meantime, so they can go check it out. So.
Okay. And then this. That so I don't know if you can see.
Oh yes, gosh, yeah, I would love to eat that right now. Camilla brought up a very good point. I love how easy it is, but still looks and seems impressive for everyone eating it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, so our onions are just starting to crisp without any oil.
Super nice.
If you want them really crispy, go ahead, you use oil. It's, I
Mhm.
mean, not a big deal. I'm just going to add the few extra peas into the pan now with the onions. So the finishing of the onions crisping will also crisp the extra peas.
Generally speaking, do you avoid oil, cooking with oil?
No, that's actually one of my favorite foods of fried, fried things. So that's not,
Absolutely.
that's, yeah, I definitely don't. Just some dishes I feel like they're not needed, some dishes are needed more, some dishes are needed less, some dishes are just not needed.
I guess it's finding that differentiation between when it's necessary and not. I feel like sometimes I waste good olive oil. I'm like, I don't even taste it right now. Actually, this recipe doesn't need it.
Yeah, exactly. And also what oils you use, like using some people are really tight with the oil they use, and that's fine for them. Using canola oil and things when you fry is absolutely still okay. Like, it's not a bad.
For sure.
But for example, when you're finishing off dishes, olive oil, avocado oil, things like that, I would suggest to use. But canola oil is not bad, that when you don't need it, put it in more when you do, and you'll balance in a way. What I will do here is I put a tiny bit of salt onto the fried peas, just to get that flavor in there too.
Fantastic.
And one important thing that people often do not do is taste before you serve, because this is where I need to add more coconut cream, more salt, more pepper if needed. If not, put it straight away into the serving bowl. But it's easier to do it now, Also, if you're cooking things, you need to taste different flavors. You need to know when things need more salt, and you need to know when you've over salted, so the next time okay, this is where I went wrong. So this is like a really important thing.
Learning process.
I will give my father credit, because I never used to taste things, and he's like, but why? Like, you're a home cook, like cooking and eating goes
hand in hand.
Oh, that's when I started maybe doing it too much. Now
then by the time you have to eat, you're completely full. That's what I do.
Because I'm so used to tasting things and styling, doing work, that like I can't just sit down for a full meal. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I wish I could try this. It looks so delicious. The colors are so vibrant.
Yeah, I probably should have. I will add a bit more salt and a tiny bit more pepper. I won't blend it again. That's fine. I just mix it up. I won't need any more coconut. So yeah, I can show you. This is my serving bowl, but I'll show you. Look at that color.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
So we're gonna serve it in a little bowl now.
I also love that bowl. That's a pretty hefty bowl.
It's a large bowl. I probably have overdone this, but
I love it. The more the merrier. I'll be on my way.
Yeah, you can't even see that.
Perfect. It looks delicious.
Okay, these that you can see are getting, oilless. You've still got the nice crispness.
Absolutely.
Again, guys, if you don't want to do this, then skip it. It's not going to be the end of the world, and just go use a little fried onions or something like that. I do like a crunch on the top of this soup though, because it does give the texture. So I'm going to turn that heat off. And
one of our soon to launch creators, this is a little teaser for everyone. Her focus is just soups, period. And she does this fantastic savory granola. that's something I feel like you would also be interested in. You'll have to
Oh,
stay.
I'm going to tune in. I'm already on board.
Love it. Me as well.
Okay. Then I always like to do a little drizzle of the coconut.
Absolutely. Those
cream.
tiny details, that's what makes your cooking in particular so beautiful.
I like to put, you can put any edible flower or any like a herb to garnish. This is oregano, the leaves, the fresh. And I'm just going to put a few on top like this. And I'm going to put the camera down so you can see.
It looks.
Can you see? Oops.
Absolutely fantastic.
There we go.
Oh my gosh.
The full camera to you guys. This is like
this is torture. I wish to God to be able to try this. Absolutely beautiful.
Let me do the taste test quickly because
yes, tell us, how does it taste? I'm so hungry right now. Yum. That's the
fried onions in the soup is
right.
like the double
trouble. Fantastic. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Yeah. Here we go.
Delicious.
No, that's honestly as easy as it is. I do share more complicated. It's not as if, you know, I don't do the 30 minutes out. Yeah, but this is honestly, I thought to start with this because it's super simple, so healthy. Tips and tricks along the way that I'll keep sharing whenever you need.
I love it.
And yeah. So
Cecilia already mentioned, guys, if there's a specific dish maybe that you're interested, maybe a dish of hers in particular that you'd like to see her watch, see her cook, and watch, cook and watch, definitely let us know. Send it now in the chat or at a later stage. You can comment on her channel on the plate. I sent the link so everybody can go and check it out. As you see, there's a lot of good stuff going on here. I'm beyond excited, and now I'm hungry. Now I want exactly this for lunch. I
have my dinner now. You have to go.
Now I have to go find a lunch that even nearly compares to this.
No, thank you everyone for tuning in. It means a lot. The first one, and you know, if you like this one, send it to a friend, send the link.
You'll be posting the recording of this, right? So in case anybody missed it. Oh, nice. We have, thank you, Cecilia. What is the next one? Ooh la la. Let's see. What is the next one?
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We're gonna them. I actually don't know, to be honest, but I have it in mind. So if you have a request, let me know. Otherwise, it will be something a little more, I don't know. The answer is I don't know.
It'll be a surprise.
It's going to be a surprise, but something that I posted already on my channel. So, yeah. So yeah, there's lots to come, and I can't wait to be on this platform and sharing it with you.
I'm beyond excited. Thank you so much. I'm already looking forward to the next one. Have a fantastic evening, and everyone, thank you so much for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.